Our last speaker is Lindsay Odom from Columbia, South Carolina, communication studies major, processed and fast foods, two of my favorites.
Have you ever heard of the yoga mat chemical? Well, you may not have heard of it, but according to an audience analysis I conducted on October 20th of 18 Clemson students, they've all eaten it. The yoga mat chemical's scientific name is azodicarbonamide, which is added to processed foods for pigmentation and flavor, according to Haspel-Tamar on April 30th, 2014. Processed foods are one of the most common and accessible items in America and worldwide. The statistics are astounding. A recent study shows that young people eat fast foods at least twice a week. According to Dr. Paratakul in 2003, French fries in fast foods contain a minimum of 200 calories and 10 grams of fat, and a hamburger contains a minimum of 600 calories and 35 grams of fat. I hope that by the end of this speech, you will become motivated to change your diet choices for the better, and I hope that you will become aware of America's poor dietary choices. I've been a victim to processed food, and I've been doing extensive research on the impact of processed food for a little over 1 week. During this time, I will explain the real problem with processed foods, the revolutionary solution to the problem, and the benefit of implementing this solution. First, let's dissect the problem. In a previously mentioned survey, most students stated that they were not comfortable with the fact that McDonald's and Wendy's beef is 100% real. And they're absolutely correct. According to George Cranston in 2014, the most common processed foods are hamburger patties and chicken nuggets made with a mixture of meat and other substances like the yoga mat chemical. One of the most disgusting ingredients is gristle, or cartilage and other inedible ground up tissue of animal meat. In other words, according to Leah Leake in 2014, this mixture is scientifically designed to never rot, allowing the food to stay and look the same for a long amount of time. Above all, the process of adding chemicals to processed foods eradicates vitamins and minerals that our bodies crave. One of the most dangerous ingredients are the added salts and fats. Processed foods, especially fast foods, contain more salts and fats than our bodies need. These additives result in symptoms such as cramping, water retention, obesity, increased cholesterol, and heart damage, just to name a few. Furthermore, fast food and processed foods are also addictive as a result of their strong taste, accessibility, low prices, and mainly its salt content. Lenny Bernstein on August 6th explains this process of addiction in the body. When we're tired and restless, we just want to calm down and zone out. We've been trained that unhealthy fast food can control us so that we feel like we don't have to think about anything while we're eating it. Moreover, the uneven levels of sodium in the body make us more hungry and thirsty. We feel unsatisfied and we revert to eating more and more processed food, falling into a vicious cycle. Another dangerous trend of processed foods are the labels that say low fat, low carb, and rich vitamins, when really these products are just empty calories filled with little to no nutritional value. In fact, 90% of grocery stores today contain foods with corn or soy ingredient disguised under a variety of different names. So now that you understand the numerous problems associated with processed foods, I will show you the revolutionary solution. And there are 3 easy steps that you can adopt to become a happier, healthier human being. First, start by eating smaller portions. Either eat less food or use a smaller plate. And if you desperately have to, order a junior cheeseburger and a small fry at Wendy's. This simple strategy and first step in the process will encourage you not to overeat by training your body to stop eating once you're full. Secondly, start eating raw. By constantly consuming foods that have added salts and fats, you can actually lose some of your ability to taste subtle ingredients, preventing you from enjoying fresh fruits and vegetables that are crucial for our bodies to function and survive. Begin eating raw foods by substituting them for other foods in your diet. For example, try celery or carrot sticks instead of fries, or an apple and banana for a snack instead of microwavable mac and cheese that contains yellow food dye. The final step is to cut out processed foods altogether. A good rule of thumb is that if there are more than 3 ingredients in a food, it's processed. By following the first 2 simple steps and eventually cutting out processed foods as a whole, you will look better, feel better, have more energy, make better grades, improve your athleticism, and have a happy, long life. After evaluating the solution, it's important to understand the major consequences if you continue eating processed foods. Continuing this habit will negatively influence your finances and your health. According to Eric Schlosser, in 2001, Americans spend more than $100 billion on fast food, which is more than higher education, computer software, cell phones, and new cars. Eating raw and non-processed foods is a lot cheaper and easier. Plus, it makes you feel better. In a previously mentioned survey, I asked the Clemson students a startling question that I would like you to consider. If you were given the choice to die from one of these diseases, which would you choose? Coronary heart disease, diabetes, stroke, or cancer? The truth is, if you continue eating processed foods, you will become highly susceptible to all 4 of these common diseases. Let's face it, cutting out processed foods could heavily reduce your healthcare costs later in life, promising a less complicated life altogether. In conclusion, I explained in detail the real problem with processed foods while focusing on the fake chemical mixtures they're made of, its addictive qualities, and the lies in the labels. Then I encourage you to easily and effectively change your eating habits by eating smaller portions and more raw foods. Finally, I warned you of the long-term negative effects on your life and your body if you continue this habit. You deserve to fully understand what you're eating and where your food comes from. You deserve to feel better about yourself. Everyone in this room has the power to change the world one day, but it's not going to happen if we don't change the way we eat. Take action now, because there really is no time like the present.